I'm here to help you live a healthier and a happier life, and I do that by offering live classes, courses, and the list goes on and on. Today, I want to talk a little bit about anxiety and welcome you to this 14-day journey. This is day one, and day one is all about identification. I want you to identify all the things that cause you anxiety. Write them down and keep going until your list is complete. In fact, you want to keep doing that throughout the day. You might get pages and pages of things. You might only get one thing. All of it is okay and all of it is useful. So an example would be I experience anxious energies whenever I have to speak in front of a group of people. That would be an example of something that provokes anxious energies within yourself. A lot of times people don't like to identify and label mental situations because they're afraid that they might be claiming it. But I assure you, and you probably know this already, that whether you call the experience anxiety or not, you are definitely experiencing something real. So what is anxiety? Anxiety is a physical experience of a mental event. It is your body's response to thought patterns going on in your brain. Thoughts are energy fields, and those energy fields make you feel some kind of way. Anxiety or anxious energies can cause stomach upset, back problems, chest tightness, rapid heart rate, sweating, mental fog, inability to stay focused, irritability, impatience. All of these things are part of the experience that we call anxiety. Some people are, you could see it, it's obvious on them that they are anxious and having trouble, and some people you would never know. I'm one of those people. You might look at me and think, oh, she's anxious about nothing, and I have so many anxious energies going on in me that I resolve day after day because we have a lifetime of unresolved energies within our system. And when we begin to resolve them, we begin to feel harmonious with universal laws like peace and love and kindness, and you have a greater sense of wellness. When you feel dissonant with universal energies, then you experience unhappiness, depression, anxiety, and so on and so forth, right? So we're here to help you work through anxiety by first identifying what causes anxious energies within you, what situations, what people, what activities, right? What is causing this physical experience? What is causing your thoughts to manifest in your body as something unpleasant? That's a good question. We talked about anxiety being a physical experience of a mental event. What kind of mental events create anxious energies? Thoughts that are based around fear and insecurity. Thoughts that are based upon fear and insecurity carry a charge that your body does not know how to interpret those signals, and so it responds in a stress response. That's all the things we just talked about, the rapid heart rate, the unclear thinking, all of that. Right? It's a stress response. Your body thinks you're in danger. It's listening to your mind. What part of your mind? There are two parts of the mind that I want to talk about in this course. One is the ego, one is the higher self. Your ego, in essence, is all of the things that you've learned and experienced in your lifetime. From those experiences and those teachings, you have gathered things about the universe that may or may not be true. A lot of times they're not true. And when you have untrue systems within yourself, they get logged and programmed as belief systems. When you have untrue belief systems in your system, you are in dissonance with universal energy. Remember, that creates stress, that creates suffering, that creates the experience of anxiety. Your body doesn't know what to do with it. It does what it knows, and that is to activate a stress response. Then you have your higher self. Your higher self has all the instructions for your life path here on earth. Your higher self is unmoved by fear or the way that people may see you. Your higher self knows exactly what you came here to do and how you ought to do it. But your ego takes over. Your ego begins to tell you what you should and shouldn't do. And here's the thing about the ego, it's limited to past and present experiences. It can't see the future. It doesn't know the beauty of human potential. It doesn't know it's supposed to serve the higher self. But when the ego takes over because something traumatic has happened, you begin to experience a separation from your higher wisdom and then the actual wisdom that is learned. When your higher wisdom becomes separate from the learned wisdom, then you begin to experience anxiety. So what does that mean for you? This 14-day journey, we are interested in reconnecting the parts of yourself so that you can come into a greater sense of wholeness and feel the security that you actually are. We're going to do that by exploring universal laws, learning how this universe works. When we know how a thing works, we feel more secure. Right? And that is the crux of anxious energies, feeling insecure and fearful about a thing that hasn't happened yet. Your ego is full of information and it's using that information to try to direct you in present situations, but your ego is limited. Your higher self is unlimited. When we connect the ego and the higher self and we cause harmony within your being, then you operate harmoniously with universal energies and you have less and less anxiety over time. All right. So take a breath, breathe in and breathe out. Do that all day. Think about this information, right? And I'm going to see you tomorrow on day 2.